Coach E on the mic, it's a game for all seasons. Dropping knowledge bombs, yeah, he got 1,000 reasons. Football to the hardwood, track to the grind. Perfect time fitness, he be flexing the mind. X and Rick Timmons, the squad so unique. Opinions hit harder than a linebacker peak. Comedy and culture, yeah, they got that blend. When the whistle blows, it ain't close to the end. Coach E, game for all seasons, we ride. Laughs and lessons, the crew by side. Sports, life, culture, they keep it alive. In the post-game word, that's the vibe.
What up, everybody? I want to thank y'all for watching this episode of Coach E Game for All Seasons, a special episode. Just hopping on real quick just to talk about what we had this weekend in that national championship bracket, the NCAA double bracket, that is. We had a great weekend of college basketball. I don't know if you've been watching, but I definitely watched every single game. Excuse me, and I had a great time doing so. This is some of the greatest basketball that we had all year in college basketball. So really happy about the product that they're putting out, really happy about the transfer portal, really happy about all these overseas guys coming into college and getting that NIL money and stepping up and playing a good role on these teams. Now, if you pay attention to that, a lot of these teams have been getting a lot of foreign players from overseas going pro. They go over there, recruit these guys, send them with the NIL deals and everything like that, and they come over here and they have been playing grown man basketball. But before we get into all that, this is, like I said, the special edition of Coach E Game for All Seasons, a recap of that first weekend of the NCAA basketball tournament. You can watch this live on YouTube right now. We are also live on Instagram right now. We can go ahead and hit that search bar on YouTube, type in Go Coach E Game for All Seasons. You can subscribe, you can like, you can share to everybody and anybody who doesn't know about this, but I do appreciate everybody logging on and watching right now. You can download this podcast wherever you get your podcast from. You can also email this podcast, gameforallseasons@gmail.com, so we can go ahead and get things started. We can get some rapping back and forth. We can also get some banter back and forth. And you can send me your bracket, too. Email me your bracket so I can see how yours is doing. Mine is not too busted, but it ain't as good as I thought it was going to be. Guarantee I did better the last couple years. But this year, ooh-wee, it's been a struggle. But we do have a sponsor, and I do want him to get some love. It is tax season. Lil Cuz Miles has been on the podcast several times, a couple times doing his thing, putting his business out there so we can holler at him right quick. Now, a word from our sponsor.
Goodfella family, welcome back. We're officially open for the 2026 season, and we appreciate every single one of you who filed with us last year. This year, expect transparent pricing, accurate returns, and a professional, comfortable experience from start to finish. We've made onboarding faster, communication clearer, and turnaround times quicker. You'll always know exactly where your return stands. At Goodfella, you get 100% virtual filing, transparent pricing, no surprises, expert level strategizing for self-employed and W-2 clients, and personalized support every step of the way. And for our returning clients, referrals are now $75 cash for every person you send who files. No limit. Thank you for trusting the Goodfellas. Let's make this a good tax season.
And just like they said, y'all, it is tax season. So go ahead, hit up Goodfellas. It is goodfellatax.com. Goodfellatax.com. Go ahead, get in the portal, send them all your information. Trust me, they do my taxes and they do a damn good job. So we can go ahead and get that going for them, and he will look out for you. If you hit that code, Coach E, you get 10% off of your filing bill. So go ahead and do that for yourself and for him. Now let's get into this first round, y'all. This first round had a lot of games going and a lot of games being aired at the same time. You know how we all watch them back to back to back. The first round game that really did me some justice. I don't know if y'all been watching this pod, but for years, I let my hate for Duke be known. I really don't like Duke at all. I literally didn't like them when Coach Krzyzewski was on there, but now I just don't like them, period, just because they still are Duke. They opened up with Siena that first round, that first game. They were down for a long time that first game. They ended up coming back and winning that game, but I was so happy we ended up getting it was a blowout at first. Siena came out, established a down low presence, and the guards started hitting the shot. It was a guy number 4 on Siena. He caught fire that first half, was tearing Duke up. He went in halftime, cooled down just a little bit, but he definitely did his thing. And I was hoping and wishing that they'd pull off the upset. For one, there's a 1 versus 16. You really don't get a lot of upsets with 1 versus 16, but they was trying their butts off, but they didn't pull it out at the end. Was hoping so bad they were. Now, another game after that one, it was the Ohio State. Actually, this was the first game of the tournament, kicked off the tournament. You know, I'm an Ohio State homer, so I love that they were the first game kicking off on that Thursday. It was Ohio State versus TCU. I had Ohio State winning in my bracket, but they came out really, really sluggish. I don't know if it was the early start because this game started at 12:15 on Thursday. It was a very, very early start for them. I don't think they were ready to play at all. They came out real sluggish. TCU was a bigger team down low, and they definitely established their presence down low, and they were doing whatever they wanted to in the paint to Ohio State. They ended up getting down by 16, 18 at the most, went in at halftime, regrouped, came out, and really established the defense that they had set pretty much the whole season. They did a very good job on the bigs in the second half and ended up closing the game on a good run. It was about 12-0 run at one point. Ended up taking the lead at one point, actually, and then they couldn't hold the lead at the end of the game. TCU came down. Now, this was a coaching point to me. Ohio State had a situation where they could have fouled a big and not let them get that easy bucket. So the point guard dribbled down, big posted up in the post, got deep into the paint, right to the charge line. Everybody knows who plays and watches basketball. That charge line in the paint, got right in there, dribbled twice. They had an opportunity to foul that big. They were up 1. So if you foul that big, he's not going to make a free throw. He's just not. It was a clutch moment. He butt would have puckered up. I don't think he would have made those free throws at all, but hey, they didn't foul. He ended up making that, and then that's what ended up being that game winner. So I don't think they took advantage of the situation. They should have fouled him, like I said, and made him at least try those free throws. You got to try those free throws and see if that guy's ready for that moment, because that tournament moment, you are down by 1 and you are at the free throw line with 2 free throws. That is in your head. It is definitely playing a role in if you make that shot or not. So I think they could have did that better to close out that game. Then at St. John's and Northern Illinois game, St. John's is very physical and older teams. They were ready for that moment. I don't think Northern Illinois knew what they were doing and what they were getting into, but St. John's proved definitely in that first and second round that they're definitely a team to be reckoned with the rest of this way in this tournament. But I'm going to go ahead and jump to the second round because all those first round games went pretty much kind of chalk, but it was a couple upsets in that second round, but that's what I really want to get to. So the second round really got jumping on Saturday. Saturday was the second day of that tournament on that side of the bracket. And then you had the Arizona Wildcats, and they ended up facing Villanova. No, I'm sorry, Utah State. They ended up facing Utah State. Ended up blowing them out. But I think it does say something when you have that side of the bracket and you don't play that good of a talent in those first 2 rounds. Yeah, the number 1 overall seed, yeah, the number 1 seed, but I don't think they have been tested in the tournament run like these other teams have that's been playing these tight games like Arkansas. Just a little cheat code. I do have Arkansas winning. I do 2 brackets every year, so I can end up being right on at least one of them. But I did 2 brackets. So in one of my brackets, I have Arkansas winning just because of Darius Cuff Jr. Darius Cuff Jr. is one of the best freshmen that I've seen in a while in NCAA basketball. He's a guard that's already ready for the NBA. He should be doing whatever he wants. He is doing whatever he wants to the defense in college. He's had a career high of 48 this year. It was a overtime game against Alabama, but he held his own. He did what he had to do to score that 48 points. And it looks like we got a guest jumping on. What up, RPZ from DFDZ? What up, dude?
What's up, man? You hear me?
Yeah, we good. We live, brother.
All
We
right.
live on YouTube and Instagram right now. Say what up to the people.
What's up, people? Hope y'all brackets is in shape. I know mine's is.
I don't think yours is. I think you're just saying that for the people, man. I just was
man.
real with mine. Mine's is, oh, dude, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Nah, I did pretty well. I'm in I'm in 3rd place on one of my pools, 2nd place in another. So I'm doing all right.
I just got done talking about Arizona not really playing a lot of people, quality opponents in that first and second round. They pretty much blew people out, especially with LIU. That everybody knew they was going to blow them out, but that
Yeah.
Utah State game, that was still another blowout. And I was saying that in one of my brackets, because I always do two, just so I could be right on one of them or close to being right on one of them. I got Arkansas winning on one of my brackets. So this is a big game coming up between Arkansas and Arizona. I just love Darius Acuff Jr. the way he does. Like, he is NBA ready right now. He could be a starting point guard in the league right now. Not to say he's going to be scoring 30 and 20 a game in the league, but right now with him, the way he plays in college, dude, he's one of the best point guards I've seen in a while come through NCAA, man.
Yeah, I like the point guard from Michigan State. He been playing pretty well to me. It is about that guard play, man. If you were watching a lot of the games, the high point guard, he was pretty good, instrumental in them getting all the way through to the second round.
Didn't he have like a 30 ball too? He scored like 30
Yeah,
something too, right?
yeah, he played really really well. I was surprised. Well, I actually had High Point. I picked High Point, so I wasn't too
You
surprised.
picked that point to beat Arkansas?
Yeah, no, I picked High Point to get to the second round.
Oh, okay.
To beat Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't have that one. I don't know how you got that one out your system. I didn't have that one at all. I thought Wisconsin was going to roll over them dudes.
Yeah, Gonzaga hurt me. Them.
Oh, yeah.
With them being a mid-major, but one of those that always kind of gets to the Final Four or Elite Eight. Them going, especially to Texas, because Texas was a play-in game.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Me neither.
Not expecting that.
Texas had a good showing.
Yeah. Especially losing to beating BYU. Like I thought BYU would have went a little further with the young talent that they had, but
well, when the other star player, not DeBosta, he is a world in his own. He's definitely one of the best college basketball players right now. But when the other guy went down, I forgot his name. He went down for the season, like right before the Big 12 tournament, and I knew that he was going to struggle by himself. He still almost damn near pulled it off. He still had almost 40, but it's only so much he could do by himself, man. He needed help. And nobody else was stepping up and doing anything. He kept trying to set his teammates up. Nobody was hitting those open shots that he was creating for them. So I think it was his time, man. He did a hell of a job, though. He definitely didn't lose no stock in his draft situation at all. I think he actually upped it, if that's even possible.
I know, especially like I said, this draft supposed to be a real hot draft for everybody. So
who did you have?
Everything, go ahead. What you gonna say?
Who did you have in that Michigan and Georgia game? Well, I'm sorry, Michigan and St. Louis game. You had Michigan?
Oh yeah. I had Michigan. Well, where's that part of my bracket I'm looking for right now?
And I was just hating just because I wanted Michigan to lose, just because of my hate. I wanted my hate to be true and not my eyes. I knew they was gonna win for real. I just didn't want it.
I took that out of my equation, man. I was like, let me just, let me be true to how everybody's been playing and keep them going. So yeah, I got Michigan going pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Them playing. I think everybody was a lock for me. No, I had Texas Tech beating Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Because they lost that guard, and I thought, I thought they would get out the first round. They beat Hofstra, but I thought that, he losing him would hurt them against Texas Tech. But they won going away. It wasn't even a game. I don't think it got close at all with Texas Tech.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm looking for is that it's further down the line. It's the Elite Eight, the Iowa State Michigan game. I love Iowa State's defense. They play so hard. They pressure the ball. They trap in like the most non-common trap areas. They turn the ball over at a high rate, and that leads to a lot of easy buckets. So that's how they either take the lead real fast or it keeps them in the game. they don't have to have a great shooting night to win a game just because of their defense intensity and how much they turn the ball over and how many easy baskets they get. So I hope that pressure does bust the pipe for Michigan just so they can get up out of here. And plus, I just think their defense is pretty close to a national title winning defense. They just, especially when they lost that guy, that one of the leading scorers in that first game, that hurt really, really bad. They scored 100-something points, but when he got hurt, there was no way they can do that again that very next round. So,
I mean, it's about those teams in that Midwest bracket. I mean, like you look at Michigan, they scored 101 points their first game, 95 the next. You know, Alabama just scored they had 90, 90 both times. And then like you said, Iowa State first game it was 108, and then they scored 82. So it's like it's gonna be like you said, that first team that can put a stop to somebody. I think that's gonna be the one to take it out and win it. I got who do I got? I think Iowa State going all the way to Final Four in that bracket.
Same here. That's why I got playing Arkansas in the Final Four from that top side, that West bracket. But down in the South, that's where the upsets was heard at right there in the second round with
Florida, man.
Yes, man. With Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa beating Florida. That Big Ten basketball, man. And you know what? I meant to bring up a point. I think I did earlier. I talked about it earlier before you jumped on. The Big Ten teams, like the Nebraskas, like the Iowas, like the Illinois, the ones that don't have athleticism like that, they hit the cheat code with that portal. They went overseas and got the grown-ups with that NIL money that's been pros since they was like 13, 14 years old. So them coming over here and playing college basketball is like nothing to them. They've been playing with grown men their whole life ever since they've been teenagers, and you can see that translate over to this basketball game right now, especially in the tournament, how physical they are, how just ready they are to play team basketball because that's just how they were taught to play ever since day one over there. Yeah. And it's playing great dividends for all of those teams because all those teams are still alive, and you can see it play out right in real time. So I just want people to pay that attention. We all know the diaper dandies, the Darius A. Cubs, the Diabasas, the Petersons. You know they're going to be themselves. But for other teams that don't have stars, it's all about full team play in the tournament, man. If you don't have no deep team or no role players or no guard play, like you said earlier, it's going to be an early exit or just a tough-ass tournament trying to advance.
Yeah, and to your point, like those guys have been playing in those like hostile atmospheres. So this is not anything foreign to them, you know, to playing like real high pressure games and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
It get pretty hectic over there, probably where they've been playing.
Now that Vanderbilt game, it was one of the most like pressure-packed moments of the tournament that I can remember in some years. I wanted to play this clip, and then when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So everybody enjoy this clip. Watch this real quick.
It's one of the greatest shots in the history of the greatest sporting event on earth. And it did everything. It did everything but drop.
And when you're a shooter and you take these deep shots, you know if it goes in. That's why he's backing up, wanting to look.
Dog, that's hard to digest, man. Everybody was talking about before the tournament started, these balls being inflated. And I think that was the situation right there. If the ball had a little bit less air, I don't think it would have hit the glass coming off that hard and hitting the front rim and rattling like that. It might have just hit the glass, hit the front rim, and fell down. But since those new balls that they saying, and college balls, they're so bright orange. It's just so weird that they playing with those balls now.
I noticed that, like we plan to play with those evolution balls a lot. So for them to play with, you know, that big yellow ball, I was kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
What's this about? Yeah.
It just looked weird.
It looked weird.
That could have been a signature moment in a tournament for Vanderbilt, that young guy that shot the ball, but that's how it go, man. It's a make or miss tournament. Just how they say the NBA is a make or miss league. It's a make or miss tournament. And it just happened to fall out. That would have been a great win for them, but that moves us to talk about the Nebraska team. The Nebraska team, man, it's unbelievable. I don't know if you remember back in the day, Fred Hoiberg, when they used to call him the mayor, when he used to play for Iowa State, that's the head coach for Nebraska now. His son is a point guard on that Nebraska team, and he got them playing just like he played. They have a great shooting team, and just like I said, they got a couple NIL guys from overseas stepping up, making good baskets, and playing as a team. And I said at the beginning of the tournament that you got to watch out for Nebraska and Illinois because those are good teams that people are sleeping on just because they haven't been mainstream like everybody else. But I watch them a lot in the Big Ten just because we get a lot of those games on TV in this area. And, man, they are both good teams. And now, hell, like I said, with Iowa too, same thing. But Nebraska is surprising the nation with this team they got now.
Yeah, I got Illinois going all the way to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And then I had them losing against Florida, but Nebraska killed that show. Well, because they're gonna be Iowa. I'm sorry, Iowa killed that show.
So you got Illinois beating Houston?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. I don't know. Houston is a problem. As they say, Houston, we have a problem. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You have a great defensive team with some athletes and with some guys that just play hard. And your homeboy's son on the team, man, he done turned into a great player.
Which one?
Mercy Miller, Master P's son, number 25 for Houston. That's your boy.
My boy. Yeah.
Oh, Percy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that luck's gonna run out. And it was I don't know what it was about Illinois. It was something I was reading about them that made me choose them over Houston. Because I did a lot of just kind of when it got to those matchups, I started doing a lot of chat GPTing and reading about the synopsis. And I think the kind of thread I kind of went with was defense and consistency. Like if a team was like a big running team, I didn't choose them because I meant they had to be hot,
Mm-hmm.
Or if they were heavy 3-point shooting team. I forgot which one they were talking about. It was they live and die by the three. So I was like, nah, they got to be hot, But defense translates. Defense and rebounding. That was another one. Rebounding was the one that if that team could rebound.
But
that's what I wanted to look at.
With the Illinois rebounding thing, that's probably what steered you that way because a lot of those overseas players are there big, so they do have a advantage on the glass. But I just think Houston plays so hard, just like I was talking about Iowa State team defense. That Houston team defense is pretty smothering too. So I don't know if Illinois is ready for that kind of pressure with those athletes that they got too, but Illinois does have a fundamental basic team with Peja Stojakovic's son out there killing. He had a great game last game.
I thought that I saw that his Stojakovic's son was one.
Yeah. Number 2. He real good, man.
Yeah. I saw the name.
I was watching him all year. He had a great year. Last year he was decent, but he made a big step in his career this year, especially making a name for himself in that tournament like he did last game. He had over 20 points. So it was a damn good game for him. But it's another game. Oh, no, go ahead. My bad.
There was now if I share my screen, can I show this graphic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me get to the show. What were you saying? What were you going to say, Eve, before
I was going to bring up that St. John's game. I don't know where you were about to go with it. I don't want to lead with it and then you about to show something else.
No, there was a no. Here we go. Whoops, a window. That's
working through the technicals, people.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Got it.
So there was this graphic that I found. Can you see it?
Yeah.
This was they kind of clocked every single Final Four team.
Mm-hmm.
And they all kind of ended up in this top right quadrant every year. And they used these metrics to do it. It was team rebounding, as you can see here, offensive rating, versus team rebounds and how many turnovers they force opposed to opponents' rebounds. And it kind of spit out this information here. So I kind of went off this and was like, okay, well, where do these teams fall? And what the guy was saying was like, if there's a team like kind of close to this line here, they can play their way up. So if you look at Georgia's right there, Vanderbilt's right there, Arkansas's right there, Louisville, High Point. So they all these teams that were very close to that line.
Wow.
That's where I kind of was like, I looked at this and was like, huh, this is very interesting.
So it's like with the Chico right there.
I know. So I made a lot of I found this just doing like researching, best way to research who to pick. And this popped up.
Yeah.
And when he explained it and you start looking at, the teams that I didn't pick Kentucky. I didn't pick Miami of Ohio. I didn't pick Wisconsin. And then especially when I started cross-referencing them with who they're playing and where they sat on this line, like that. See, I forgot who did High Point play first round. You remember?
High Point played Wisconsin first round.
See, so look where High Point is. Look where Wisconsin is. So I was like, okay, well, this is telling me to go with High Point. Yeah, it was crazy. And the guy said every single year they use this thing and he charts it.
Now, where'd you get that from?
It was I was just flicking through Instagram and it popped up.
Oh wow.
And I was just listening to the guy. I was like, huh, that's interesting. But then you got the teams like TCU. Those are your teams that are going to be your outliers and play their ways into, like Kansas is way down here. I didn't pick them to go real far. Troy is hidden back here. You see the T right there.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
I know. So but like I chose Miami. That's the one that kind of shot me in the foot was Miami, where I picked Miami over, and I picked St. Mary's over whoever they were playing first round.
Ooh.
So yeah, so a couple of them,
Texas A&M for St. Mary's. That was St. Mary's, Texas A&M.
Yeah. So a couple of them, helped me out, but then there were some that were, not into the where it should be on the bracket. So I'm looking for my man next year again too. to get my help on it.
Now that if you remember his name, forward it to me. That'll help me. I will. Brackets.
I'll send them to you. So now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Where it's sitting right now, would there be any picks that you would make? Would you still pick the same two questions? Would you still pick the same teams to win to go on to the next round? And would you still pick the same national champion, whoever you got winning it, after seeing everybody kind of play where they are right now?
Yes to both of them, because I really didn't have a huge upset anyway. As Zen would say, it was kind of chalk. I had an upset here or there. I definitely didn't pick that High Point Wisconsin one or High Point competing with Arkansas like that. I had no clue about that point guard. If I would have known about him, I probably would have picked them to beat Wisconsin, just because, like you said, the guard play is so important in that tournament. But yeah, I would pick the same people, because except for the BYU, I had them beating Gonzaga. But I don't want to say Gonzaga is on the same level with me with Duke. Never been a Duke fan, never will be a Duke fan. And I've never been a Gonzaga fan, and I never will be a Gonzaga fan, just because they always overachieve and everybody just blows them up like they're just some huge blue blood or whatever. So I never really go with them, except for when I think they're actually a better team. So I thought they were going to be a better team, but clearly not. But yeah, I would pick it the same.
Yeah, see, I picked Duke to win it, but I'm not real, and that goes against my wait for that shit. This is close to anything. That's why I wore the blue. This is close to anything Duke that I'm gonna have in my house. But
ain't like nothing Duke in my house.
Nah,
except Dookie.
But like, I just kind of seeing where everybody is right now, especially coming out of that East. I kind of like Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they pretty tough.
They got a
So
man. I think his
you got
name
them
is.
beating UConn?
Yeah, yeah. I got them beating UConn. I got them going all the way. Obviously I picked Duke, but they do. I think his name is Cohen Carr.
Yeah, number
He's like
55, dog.
Yeah, he is
Yeah,
a
man.
beast, man. He
A beast.
and I think I don't know. They're just playing real well right now, and they're playing at a different tempo than Duke, and that
Yeah.
might be what get them in trouble with St. John's, because like you said, St. John's like to play that up tempo. They're gonna press you, play heavy
They play
defense.
up-tempo bully ball. They are very physical. Just because of Rick Pitino, man. That's how Rick Pitino coaches guys to be. And they definitely fit a Rick Pitino team. If you think about those old Kentucky teams and everything like that, yeah, man. Yeah. They definitely fit that bill.
So the basketball watcher in me wouldn't mind seeing St. John's and Michigan State play to see what that game will be like. But
that'll be a football game right there. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind seeing that either, though, as long as it do what it's supposed to do. But I'm going to ask you to share your screen one more time.
Okay.
And if you see over there on the side, it says St. John's. It's the minute 21 video on the side.
Share my screen. Boom.
I want to break something down for the people before we get out of here. Show them what I saw at the last couple possessions of that game.
Which you want me to look at what now?
They say St. John's. It's in our clips right here in the media assets file. Click on that. Come on down.
Okay. Hold on. Entire screen.
It say St. John's.
Media assets.
Yep.
There it is.
At 121.
A difference of a second. Game clock and shot clock. Peterson fouled as he fired. Sellers was down there.
Man.
Peterson to tie. Kansas on a 23.
You got unmute E. There you go.
Yeah. So that very first part of that clip, I thought it was going to not mute us since you were sharing the screen. My bad. But that first part of that clip, you saw why Peterson is such a good player that he is. He could just take anybody off the dribble at any given time and create his own bucket and score. So at that point, they were down 2 when he went to that free throw line, hit both of those free throws, which tied the game up. So once I'll give the whole rundown when I'm doing this right now before we play the rest of the clip so everybody can see what I'm talking about. So after he hit those 2 free throws, in your mind as Bill Self, as that Kansas coach, he's thinking, all right, the worst out of the situation is going to be overtime. So I'm going to use all my fouls in order for them to have as less time on the clock as possible to make a shot or put themselves in position to make a shot. So he did all that great. He did that plan awesome. He used 3 fouls in a row, which took the clock down from 12 seconds all the way to 3.9 seconds. So what they did after that, I think they wasn't prepared for what to do after using those fouls, because as a coach, you just say red, red, red. That's our code for foul right now, red, red, red. Mm-hmm. I think they just kept paying red, red, red. Then after that, it was like no instructions. So I think they had a I know they had a defensive lapse because there was no help side on that whole penetration from the guy that is a point guard from St. John's. He's a lefty. He ended up going right, making a right-hand layup, going from half court all the way to the basket. Nobody rotated from the weak side and left anybody. So if you know that game situation, you should know it's 3.9 seconds left on the clock. You should rotate over to stop the ball And if you stop the ball with 3.9 seconds from that inbound, now you're looking at about point-something seconds for him to make a decision to try to find an open guy to have a shot to shoot. But instead, nobody rotates over. Actually, two guys on the left get confused. It's Peterson and another wing defender. They both go with the same guy, which leaves that baseline so wide open for that point guard to turn and get downhill. You could tell whoever was playing defense on him was expecting help because he allowed him to just blow by him a little bit too easy. And if he had just a little bit more restraint and time, he wouldn't have been able to get that shot off. But Peterson rotated with the wing guy, and they both guarded the wing guy. So if he didn't get to the basket to make that layup, he had a guy in the corner for a three-pointer. But I will take that chance from that guy shooting and making that three-pointer in that situation instead of giving a guy a straight down the pipe game-winning layup. It's ridiculous. So I want to – go ahead, my bad.
Dog, it's funny you should say that because the same exact thing happened in the Iowa and Florida game where dude got the ball in the inbound, guard
full head of steam.
I'm like, why didn't the big man just step in front of him? Just like make him go off.
Make a decision.
Offline, or make a pass or have to throw it back. I'm like, throw it back make him throw it back to the big man that you just left because I'd rather have him pushing the ball, try to score than this guard. And then
who's used to that.
Yeah. Then the guard gets past half court. The guy guarding the corner comes off of that guy. Mm-hmm. And it's just a simple, easy pass, a spot up shot. Otherwise, they said you got a guy running full speed, trying to stop on a dime, square up, shoot the back. He said that's the guy you want trying to make the shot. Then this guy who's already squared up, who's a 37% 3-point shooter, like you never leave the corner. So it's funny. You just those moments, those like, what do we do? Moments.
It kind of kills you. And I heard Coach K say something today earlier, and he said everybody thinks they're such a good coach because of the knowledge they have. That doesn't make you a good coach. What makes you a good coach is your players knowing what to do in certain situations off of the knowledge that you have taught them. So just because you know a lot about the sport and you know a lot about certain situations, that's good for you, but you're not out there playing. Your kids, you have to convey that information to your kids so they know what to do in certain situations so they don't have these blunders that we were just talking about. So that's what made Coach K say that, and I can give him the props for that. That's the only time I'll give Coach K any kind of positive affirmation because I hate that guy, but that was a good point that he said. So let's watch the rest of this, and you can see what I'm talking about. They use the fouls, the file, and then now Kansas is inbound. St. John is inbounding the ball right before half court, which gives them a shorter path to the basket as well. So I'm about to play this here so you guys will watch it.
A difference of a second, game clock and shot clock. Peterson fouled as he fired. Sellers was down there.
Man.
Peterson to tie. Kansas on a 23-9 run. 14 seconds in regulation. And a quick foul.
They have plenty to give.
Well, they got a lot to give.
Hopkins will inbound. White is on the ball. Edge of four with it. And held right there by White. It's Darling. Rosario.
To move the ball up here. We're going to take another one right here.
Wow. That's on Badunga.
All right, now they cannot foul.
And now you're down to 3.9.
But exactly. Great job. St. John's just kept inbounding into the backcourt, allowing them a lot of time. Now Bill Self and his staff making sure they know no fouls.
This is going to be Darling. He's got to go.
Darling puts it up. St. John's is going to the Sweet 16.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Like
that was such a huge swing and a huge just situation to be in. Because if you notice, when they took a couple of those last fouls, they let them get a little bit too close to half court every time. I understand you want the clock to bleed a little bit, but the way those guys were playing defense, like giving them this much room instead of being up on them and making them work for that spot, that took not so much time off the clock, and it gave them so much space to advance it closer to half court, closer to half court, closer to half court. Then at 3.9 seconds, they damn near were inbounding it at half court. So with 3.9 seconds left, you want them opposite free throw line inbounded so it can be a further, if not baseline, if you can find a way to make it go baseline. But they just gave a little bit too much, and just that defense from him not picking him up body to body at half court to slow him down. He just opened the gate by going with his hips that way. Nobody was weak side help. Nobody was there in the corner. I don't know if you saw that guy in the corner just sitting there right there ready to catch, but he saw he had that angle and that open layup. At worst, could have been a foul.
But it like you said, I mean, you described it to a T. Like those first 3 fouls, it looks like, okay, we know exactly what we're supposed to do. But that last sequence, it was just kind of like,
yeah.
And they ran down court, man. It was like you said, they had no clue.
And Larry Curry says in any game, there's 10 points up for grabs for a more prepared team. In my Dan Chambers voice, summertime. In close games of basketball, the team that manages situational basketball best wins. Yeah, that's true. That's what we're talking about. So you got, like Van Gundy said it when he was announcing the game, like, yeah, they got to relay to the team, you have no more fouls. But then he stopped there. They didn't know what to do after to say no more fouls. You should have, me personally, I would have gone full court 1-2-2. So we could have that guy pressuring the ball up there. And then as soon as he comes across half court, I'm trapping. Because like I said, it's only 3.9 seconds left. Just like we said in the other game. You got to trap. You got to send something at him to make him stop that momentum, like you said about the Iowa guy. Nobody stopped the momentum. He was comfortable. And the thing that made that so crazy, in the defender's mind, he's doing the right thing. He's a left-hand guy, so he made him go right. So in his mind, he's doing the right thing by forcing him to his offhand, but came back to burn him at the end because he just didn't have any weak side help, man.
You think they felt that they were getting the ball, Kansas was getting letting the guy get the ball that they wanted to have it? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because in that game, he didn't score all game. That was his first 2 points of the game. He didn't hit a bucket all game. And he wins the game off a layup. So and then on the flip side, he went to the huddle and told Patino, let's learn power. So that play right there is called power. It's usually a high pick and roll, but he waved the pick off so it didn't get that trap that we were talking about. He waved that pick off and saw he could beat him. And then Rick Pitino said, I thought about it after I called that play in the huddle and they went on the floor. I said, he hasn't scored a bucket yet today. Why did I listen to him and let him call this play? And then it ended up working out. So it's twofold with that, man. Twofold.
Yeah, I always say at this level, hey, they got scholarship players too. So it's like, them dudes can make plays.
Yeah.
You can't just be out there, he ain't gonna do nothing. Man.
Okay.
Yeah, for real.
Well, yeah, I just want to come on here, man, wrap up that first weekend of the NCAA tournament basketball, and we got a good weekend coming up, man. Sweet 16 going to the Elite Eight, so we will know by the end of next weekend, this weekend coming up, who will be in the Final Four for Easter weekend. I think this is the first time that has been on Easter weekend. I can't remember the Final Four in the national championship being on Easter weekend. I can't remember that.
Yeah. It's a lot going on in the Perez household that weekend. Try to get some basketball in.
You got to, dog.
Yeah.
Appreciate you hopping on here, Rick, man.
No problem. Anytime, man. Talking this b-ball. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's definitely time. And it is almost time for NBA playoffs. So we will be on here quite a bit, breaking down some series. And definitely next weekend again, Monday, we'll be back on here breaking down the Elite Eight and the Final Four. Who we got? Is our bracket still intact and everything like that? So hope you're ready, dog. We got more to go. They keep giving us content. We got to keep taking it.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Appreciate y'all once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe this podcast. You should be on the YouTube channel watching this, Coach E Game for All Seasons YouTube channel. And then you should go right there. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Didn't even mean to do that. Just ignore that. Didn't even happen. You could also download this podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, every single platform we are on there. Email the show, gameforallseasons@gmail.com. If you liked what you just heard and watched, give us some comments and let us know if your bracket is still intact so we can call you out. Because if it's not, definitely going to talk about you so you can join the club. But, hey, with that being said, appreciate you, Rick. See you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Game for All Seasons with Coach E. Remember to hit the like or subscribe button on Coach E's YouTube channel. To listen on the go, download wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow Coach E on Instagram, X, and TikTok at BigF216. Contact us at www.perfecttimefitness.com for one-on-one or group training sessions. Our theme music provided by Mr. Taboo Timmons on SoundCloud at Mr. Taboo Timmons. Once again, thanks for listening and see you next week.